Hello, you guys. It's Tammy from Alternative Visions. I am here to do another reading for you. This is going to be a little bit of a deeper reading, so we can dig right in to see some soul stuff. We're going to dig in for some soul stuff. Excuse me while I remove my traveling boxes here. Whew, hot. It's warm in here. I was outside. It was cold out there today. Although not cold enough to wear a big woolly jacket. It was just needed my wrap today, so that was nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so I have the Green Man Oracle, okay, the Spirit of Nature Oracle. These cards, I love trees, and the tree spirits, the Green Man Spirit tells us, like what we're focusing on. Like it'll give us some information on where we're at. It is another reading tarot. It may not be as long as my blind spot reads. However, it will give us some insight onto some of the stuff. Also, a couple other decks I'm using too. I'm sorry, I'm not. Some of these oracle decks I have, they're very informative via the book. Okay. So, like when I used to use the Hidden Worlds Oracle, I used to look at the picture and I would interpret what I saw in the picture. But I'm finding at this point that it's very important, if Spirit leads me to read the books on these cards, I'm going to. So just bear with me as we get into your energy and we start to look into what it is we're focusing on at this time, or what energies are coming at us at this time. So take pieces of this reading as it pertains to your life. Don't try to make it fit. If it is resonating with you, then definitely keep the message that resonates with you, okay? I don't plan on this being a long reading. Maybe I'll do some mini reads. I'll do like each deck separate. That way you guys can pick and choose which videos you want to watch. Anyway, there's not a whole lot of cards in this deck, but I do like this deck a lot. There is a lot of wisdom that comes from these cards. So I've only used this deck a couple of times, but I do love it. So let's go right in here to the energy of the collective spirit. God, my Father, help me to be a clear channel. Help me to bring forth messages that the collective needs to hear at this time through the Green Man Oracle. Thank you. All right, here we go. Let's get into this. Holy Spirit, what is it that the collective energies, what are the energies for the collective? What do they need to know? Could you give me something from the Green Man Oracle for us so we know what we need to for this time in March of 2021? You guys, my readings, they are fluid, so even if it's a year from now and you come across this reading, the message is meant for you when you see it. So let's see, Spirit, from this deck. It's there's so few cards in this deck. So there's specific trees that come out. That was way too many. That was like half the deck. What else? Okay. Woo, that jumped right across. What else, Spirit? Any more? They're saying there's going to be 3. So one more. One more, Spirit. I know, it's hard. It's hard to shuffle when there's just a few cards. One more, Spirit. For the collective, one more. There it is. All right. In each of these cards, you can find a face, too, within the trees. That's the green man. Okay. These are very hard to see. Oh, this is the spindle tree. I think we've had this before. So here's the picture. Oh, it's nice and bright on there. I guess having the light really helps a lot. The light shining on that quite well. Where's the face? Where's the face? It looks like there's a door inside that tree. So the spindle. I think I have to go to the glossary in this book because it's very oh, interesting. Okay. I got there's an actual 3-card spread. And spindle was actually the first card in there in the example spread that's in the back of the book. And so there's some type of a trial that you are going through at this time. I'm so sorry. I don't see numbers on these cards, so this book is a little challenging to deal with. Where the heck? Oh, is it alphabetical? What does that say? Here we go. Give me 1 second, you guys, because I want to get these all out here. Spindle, ivy, and honeysuckle. Oh, I saw honeysuckle already. Oh, it's right there. Right after the spindle. And then ivy. Was that after that? One more second, you guys. Sorry about this. I'm not used to these cards, so I'm not really sure where these... I think I'll have to go through and label this book. I don't like when they're like this. Okay, so spindle, ivy, and honeysuckle. So here we go. Ready? Glasses. I need to be able to see to read. At least the words are bigger in this book. Holy crap. When I did the blind spot read, those words are so small in that book. Okay, here's the card, and I'm going to read, okay? You guys can look at this and see what you pick up intuitively. The green man wisdom for the spindle tree. Destiny moves us to do great things at this time. Our destiny is not fixed or unalterable, nor is it already woven into a picture. Like the spinning spider whose long supporting threads create the web's shape, we also need to discover the framework of our lives. When we have learned to find and follow the thread of our destiny, we can begin weaving around the supporting threads of our life story. To understand the nature of our destiny, we can observe our life's work and experience our aims, gifts, and our desires. Our greatest achievements have come about when the thread shaped itself without our thinking about it, when thought, mind, and soul were one. The wisdom of the green man encourages us to follow our deepest desires in order that our destiny can reveal itself in the outer world. The spindle gets its name from its primary purpose, the making of spindles for use in weaving. This has given it a powerful association with the weaving of destiny, bringing into its sphere the deities connected with the sacred arts of spinning and weaving. The weavers of Norse mythology, the Norns, had close connections with the spindle, as did their Greek counterparts, the Fates, who spun, wove, and cut off the thread of life. The symbolism was the same in each case. These goddesses wove the thread of each human life into a vast tapestry representing the whole of creation, and by cutting the threads of a living person, they could instantly end that life. Stories tell how certain heroes found their way into the underground caverns where the destiny goddess dwelled, and were able to change the direction of their fate by reweaving or unweaving part of the tapestry. Yet the pattern was said to be so complex that only the goddesses could follow a single thread. Spindle also has an association with childbirth, probably recalling the destiny woven for every child before it is even born. The fates themselves sometimes assisted at heroes' births. Goddesses of the underworld. Curiously, the round pink berries that decorate the spindle resemble miniature pomegranates, which, when opened up, contain tiny orange-colored seeds. The symbolism of the pomegranate is well known from the story of Persephone, who in Greek tradition became the goddess of the underworld after she was stolen away by Hades. Once again, the links are with fate and destiny, both of which are controlled by the underworld deities. By spinning a thread to guide her in the underworld, goddess Hecate, I don't know this name, Hecate? By spinning a thread to guide her in the underworld, goddess Hecate, Hecate, led Persephone's mother, Demeter, to her daughter. Ariadne similarly spun a thread of red wool to help the hero, Theseus, to escape from the fearsome Minotaur. Weavers of the stars. In many myths, weaving goddesses were said to spin the very fabric of creation. The Egyptian goddess Neith carried a shuttle and was said to spin the universe into being. At some point, she was identified with the Greek Athena, another goddess of weaving, who was said to have taught the art to the women of the classical world. Athena had a famous encounter with a Lydian weaver named Arachne, who declared her weaving to be finer than Athena's. The two had a contest, and while Athena wove stories of mortals who had angered the gods, Arachne wove tales of the gods' errors, work that so infuriated Athena, either due to its subject matter or because it really was better than her own. She tore it to pieces. Arachne was so grief-stricken. She hanged herself, and Athena turned her into a spider. Arachnophobia. That's what it makes me think of. So, So understand that our destiny is not fixed. You can always alter it, okay? You have to discover the framework of your life. Once you go within with spirit, or you start to look back on your life and see the web that you've been weaving going forward, where you are in your life, what's working, what's not working. That's about this whole world change that we're all going through right now. So you can start to get, they're saying you can begin weaving around the supporting threads of our life story. You can have supportive people. You can get around like-minded people. These are people who support you, encourage you. You can support and encourage others. Maybe you are that way naturally. Your greatest achievements have come about when the thread shaped itself without thinking about it, when thought, mind, and soul were all one. The wisdom of Green Man encourages you to follow your deep desires, the deepest desires that you have, in order that your destiny can reveal itself in the outer world. So what is it inside of you that you are deeply desiring at this time? You need to look into that, okay? If you already know, keep following that guidance, because that's going to help you to go forward and weave your web of life. The next one we have is ivy. We all know what ivy is. This is the stuff that climbs all over the place. It climbs buildings, it climbs walls. We know of poison ivy too, right? Here's the card. Pause it if you need to. I always suggest pausing to look at the card, because I love you guys to build on your intuition itself. See what you pick up in, how does this card make you feel inside? Really get in touch with your feelings on pictures, what you're picking out, what's really standing out to you in each picture, okay? I'll try to hold this where you're not getting the reflection. Strength comes from accepting support. Support comes from many directions, from individuals, spiritual resources, family members, or friends. The willingness to receive the support is often reluctantly shown, since it requires us to accept that our own resources are exhausted, that we are not totally self-sufficient. In reality, the whole world both seeks and receives assistance in times of need, and as individuals, we should be able to do just the same. In a society that stresses the importance of independence, many people struggle on and are unwilling to seek the support of others even when they desperately need some help. Yet strength grows when we rest or allow another to support us, even for a brief moment in time. Pride and stubbornness should not stand in the way of any assistance that is offered. For we can be strengthened by friends who support us in so many different ways. The Green Man's wisdom here is specific. Acceptance of support is what is most important. So now I'm going to get into like the ivy lore. Okay, this is folklore. The form and shape of ivy, together with its spiraling growth pattern, have caused the shrub to be associated with the movements of the stars and constellations. Ivy has long been held to be sacred to the moon. Just as holly is seen as devoted to the sun, the old Christmas carol, the holly and the ivy, preserves this ancient belief, expressing hostility or rivalry between the two plants. On one level, this is because the ivy is considered to be essentially female and the holly essentially male. And from this idea, the plants have come to be seen as representing the opposition of the sexes. In parts of England at the time of the midwinter festival, a boy and girl dressed in holly and ivy respectively walked together through the towns and villages, singing old satirical songs against each other in a kind of poetic contest. Ivy is also used to bind the last stook of wheat at the time of the harvest. This stook, is then known as the Ivy Girl and treated as a sign of good luck. In contradiction to the usual laws of growth, ivy actually flowers in the autumn and sets seed in the spring. The Reveler's Gift. Ivy has age-old associations with poetry and intoxication. Ivy crowns were worn by poets in the classical world, while the followers of Dionysus, or his Roman equivalent Bacchus, sought to alleviate the effects of drunkenness by steeping ivy leaves in wine, which was thought to make the wine more potent while at the same time weakening the after effects of the alcohol. For this reason, taverns used to display an ivy bush over their door as a sign that it was a house serving only the best brew. In the classical world, we hear, this is the Bacchae. In the classical world, we hear of the Bacchae, priestesses of the Bacchus, who practiced a form of orgiastic ritual whereby they drank a dangerous concoction made from ivy, fly agaric, and pine sap. This caused them to see visions, after which they ran wild through the countryside in search of any living thing, which they then tore apart and ate. The poet Orpheus died at the hands of such a group, though his head miraculously survived and continued to sing as it floated down the river Hebrus. Ivy and the moon. White ivy leaves were deemed sacred to goddesses of the moon, including Ariadne and Artemis, who were Greek, Pasiphae, who was a Crete, and Arianrhod, who was Celtic. The Irish hero Fionn was kept hidden from enemies who sought to kill him in an ivy-clad tree during his childhood, and for this reason he subsequently had a particular fondness for the plant. I have to read slow because when I get into some of the names in this tree book, it's like heavy duty, like I want to pronounce it right, okay? I'm usually pretty good with names. Some of the foreign names are tough, especially when we go way back in time. And maybe in your prospective countries, maybe they are commonplace. And if I do pronounce it wrong and you know the proper pronunciation, I would love for you to help me out. So understand that at this time, if you're making a change in your life and you're not feeling like you can rely on yourself, or you're not self-supporting in some way, rely on friends and family who are there for you. If you feel you have no one, look again, because you do have people around you that they love you. They want to see you strive and thrive, and they want to see you go forward and move up in the world, okay? Don't forget to allow yourself to rest. Don't forget, if somebody is willing to support you, maybe you need to take a nap because your kids are going crazy and you need a break, and somebody's there for you to let you rest while they watch the kids for you. That's a beautiful thing. Take advantage of those moments. Okay, and the last tree we have is honeysuckle. I've had this before too. Out of all the cards, these ivy, all three of these cards have come out before when I've done this tree deck. It's so funny. So, Lonicera periclyminum. The Green Man Wisdom. Oh, here, let me show you this card. You can pause it. Okay. Hopefully that helped. Wisdom hides in secret places. The ancients often saw wisdom as hidden or secret, accessible only by the initiate rather than the ordinary man or woman. This notion came from a desire to preserve the power of the mysteries, the point of divine interaction with the everyday world. Their true nature was known to all, but the practices and rituals flowing out of the teachings of the gods were kept hidden, for to make them available to all would have diluted their powers. The revelation of these, through the initiation experience, shone a light into the darkness of the soul and illuminated the innermost longings of humankind. Wisdom can be just as hard to find today, but it is there all the same. Honeysuckle in a reading suggests that a wealth of meaning lies hidden, ready to be uncovered and explored. And I'm going to go into the lore of the honeysuckle. Honeysuckle folklore centers around love and courtship. In lowland Scotland, a young man visiting his sweetheart always carried a stick cut from the honeysuckle, as it was said to bring luck to the venture and to indicate honorable intentions. Its strong, sweet-smelling flowers, scenting the air most strongly at night, brought young women erotic dreams and luck to any marriage. Hung over the door of a house, honeysuckle kept unwanted visitors out and good luck in. And over the entrance to the cowshed, it protected cattle from milk theft by the fairies. The twining plant. Honeysuckle is famed for its climbing properties. It loves nothing more than to embrace the trunk of a tree, often covering its host in delicate golden blossoms. In Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, Titania, queen of the fairies, having cast a spell over Bottom that puts him to sleep, says, "Sleep thou, and I will wind thee in my arms. So do the woodbine, the sweet honeysuckle, gently entwist." The Maize Dance. Alternative names for this letter include the snowball tree and the wayfaring tree, both members of the Lunacera family. Honeysuckle's divinatory meaning, secrecy, may derive from its connection with these shrubs, which are associated with secret hidden knowledge and with a ritual dance that leads inward to the heart of wisdom. Some experts have linked this dance with the Garanos or crane dance, a sacred step performed in the labyrinths of ancient world. Passage through one of these mazes was viewed as an initiatory journey, leading from a state of divine ignorance to one of experience. So the secrecy of the honeysuckle becomes the quest for secret knowledge. So for those of you who are on a spiritual journey, I feel this is like high priestess stuff, right? I just want to save that page for myself. So the secret knowledge that comes from the honeysuckle is what you are in search of. It's like knowing the universe is within you and not external to you. It's inside. This is why meditation is so powerful. As I feel like some of you are awakening at this time, all of us are. We're all at different stages of the awakening, the Great Awakening. But there's a lot of meaning that is lying hidden. But things are about to be uncovered and explored by us. Being the pioneers in this transition that the world's gone through is going to be really, really huge to us. And we are to use it in a way to help each other There's going to be an enchantment of kindred spirits. You are going to actually find balance in your sanctuary, and you're going to have some time to reflect. This is going to help you to go. You're going to be going within, and you're going to be experiencing things. Don't allow anybody to rush you in making decisions at this time. You are, I feel just, it's a very beautiful energy I'm experiencing right now. If you hear snoring, I'm dog sitting and he's sleeping. He's a loud snorer. So the energy that I get from these cards, so here's reflection. Sanctuary. Notice the bird. Balance. Notice the bird. Kindred spirits. Notice the butterfly. And then enchantment. Notice the water. She has a fin. Mermaid-like. Sitting in emotions. The flowers, oh, those are petunias, I believe, and that's springtime. And we're heading into spring. We are now heading into spring in my part of the world, and this is all happening later this month. I feel that's going to be like the beginning. I think it's kind of already started, but it's like you're going to start experiencing the different things, the growth, the expansion, the secrets hidden. You're going to, whatever you're struggling with, you're going to have people to support you in whatever it is that you are doing, okay? Show up in the world in a very compassionate way, okay? I want to pull from my shaman deck really quick for this. I'm drawn to throw a few, show me spirit with the shaman deck for the collective for this read. It's an interesting read, guys. Let me know if you like it or not. It's a spin on things a little bit different. I want you to be the best you that you can, so I want to try to get certain readings out to you guys that are really going through a lot of spiritual growth at this time, learning more about yourself internally. Those of you who are really wanting to grow spiritually and learn of your gifts better, that is what I'm here for, is to help you learn more of what it is that you are here for, and to become the best you that you can be. Spirit, do you have anything for the collective from this deck? Give me okay. I thought that was my fault the way they fell out, but Spirit said no, they wanted these cards. So okay. So you guys, this is new beginnings. This is, closing out of the old cycles. This is new beginnings. This is where we should all be at. Okay. So our old book has closed, and we're going to open up our new book. Okay. I have this beautiful journal. I love this thing, and this is my book. This is my book of knowledge. This is where I get to write down my messages, my hopes, my desires, my dreams, my goals. Okay? Get yourself a book that you love. I love the looks of this, and I love that it had a chain on it. I don't know. I'm big with black and silver and chains. Just love it. But it's kind of locked in. I have to literally unhook this in order to open it. But find yourself your own little journal, or you can craft one for yourself if you have the resources to do that. Something that you would actually love to hold in your hand and write in. Maybe you want like a parchment paper type of journal. I had found one that was made with like, it had like leaves on the front of it and stuff. And I've given those away as gifts to friends of mine, and they love to write in them. And so, focus on those things. And as you get messages throughout the day, messages come through so fast for me now that I have to continuously pull over to the side of the road, write down the message, and go ahead and keep driving to my destination. Even if it's just my simple 20-minute ride to work, it's just like, it's crazy. Anyway, they want you to start to make some movement with your body. If you've been lazing around the house, if you've been like really exhausted and stuff, they want you to really fight through that. They want you to set your alarm and really like, even if you have to put it like across the room, so you have to actually get up to turn it off instead of having it by your bed, your bedside table. Actually get up to turn it off, because then once you're up, you're up. And stay up. Do not climb back into bed, no matter what. Don't climb back into bed. You know you. So they want you to move your body. Maybe you want to get up a little bit early, go for a quick run if you're a runner, or go for a walk outside. Your animals would appreciate it if you have pets. And then they talk about your transformation. This is something that you've been going through for a while now, and now you are ready to come out of this cocoon that you've been in, okay? You've been wrapped up in hermiting for too long. It's time to emerge the butterfly. Abundance. It's coming. You have done the inner work, and your rewards are on their way. So have heart. See it, be it, do it. Take action for you. Take action for your loved ones, those you hold near and dear to your heart. Okay? So, I don't know if you liked the tree read. I hope you did. It's an interesting read anyway. And I kind of like hearing the stories related to the plants. I like the plants and trees information. I'm definitely drawn to it. I'm going to have to look more towards that. I feel that that has to do with my shamanic type of healing work. So, you guys, you have a great day, and I will catch you later, okay? I'm going to come back and do more readings because I want to do what the hidden worlds have to tell us. It's kind of like a guidebook. And these cards, they're like absolutely beautiful. A lot of blues and purples, magical sceneries, as you can see. They're pretty expansive. So please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and see you guys later.